You're listening to TalkSlamRadio.com. From our studios to the world, we bring you the finest in quality entertainment. So grab a beverage, put out the Do Not Disturb sign, and settle in for another fine show from TalkSlamRadio.com.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing tonight? We don't have Miss Steph in the studio. She's off in Europe.
Her spirit's here.
Her spirit is here.
Yes.
And you know what? I'm actually sitting in the middle tonight. I can't believe it.
Yes.
I'm usually over in your seat.
Between two thorns.
You got an upgrade.
I did. I'm sitting beside Jimmy Hart here, and I've got CO here on the other side. I've got Zane, and I've got Mike, and I'm the only female in the studio. Whew, what the hell?
And we're keeping the lights on.
And we're keeping the lights on. Yeah, thank goodness we need the lights on. If anyone wants to call in tonight and speak to Jimmy Hart, the number is 727-597-4022 for any questions that you may have for him. And CO, any questions anybody might want to talk to you about?
Yes, anything. You call me and talk to me about anything.
He's our Dr. Phil.
Yeah, he is a Dr. Phil for sure.
I actually have a disease called I don't remember shit disease. So if you anything you can ask me about, I won't remember by tomorrow. So you can fucking talk to me about anything. You know what I'm saying?
So how are you going to talk to him about
let's
anything?
hope it's not spreading.
Exactly.
Don't let it spread over here.
About it tonight.
We need to keep the I don't know.
Saying I could talk to him about it tonight, but I just won't fucking remember it by tomorrow.
Oh, okay. But you
like
like
50 First Dates. You ever seen that movie, 50 First
So
Dates?
so does it go by the seconds or the minutes or?
No, just by tomorrow.
I
No, that's the key to my happiness.
Okay, that's
I'm
hey,
staying healthy and having a fucking bad memory.
That's good. I need to take up that. I need to take that up. I need to like.
Darn right.
I do.
Oh,
I need to. Tomorrow, I'm not going to remember the show.
Chip worked out today and he can't remember it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's funny. It's funny. Jimmy Hart and we went over to Freaky Tiki tonight. We always have a few cocktails over there, and they're always very nice and friendly. So Chip comes in tonight, throws a football. Zane almost not called it, but he had Jimmy Hart over here, and I was like, "You guys don't want to give up your." You don't want to give up.
I just wanted to kick a field goal. That's all I needed was just to kick a field goal. But you know what? What a great day today, huh?
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Listen, let me tell you what Chip did. He started out this morning. He was up at 5:30.
Ooh.
At 7 o'clock, he was in the working out. At 9 o'clock, he was on the beach. At 10 o'clock, he was on the beach. But you know what the problem with it?
What?
He don't remember any of it.
No, I remember it. Now I don't remember it till tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow.
You forget it tomorrow.
Great. All right. Wait.
Tomorrow.
I wanted to ask.
I like it.
I wanted
to.
Tomorrow.
Away.
There you go.
And
Talking
now
about
singing,
singing.
and now singing the national anthem at
I
the
know.
Bucks ball game Sunday when they play Atlanta. Chip will be out there singing it probably.
By the way, you look really familiar to me.
Thank you.
You wouldn't happen to be that wrestling guy.
Whisper in my ear, please.
No, you wouldn't happen to
You
be
won't
that.
remember anything tomorrow. It's all
That's
beautiful,
funny,
baby.
Jimmy. That's funny.
Thank you. Wrestling guy, they call him All Heart, Jimmy Hart.
Jimmy Hart, baby, the mouth of the South.
The
you
mouth
know
of the
that.
South.
I think I got it written on my shirt somewhere, so I won't forget about it.
But you know what? One thing
what's that,
that
baby?
I didn't realize that you sang before you did all of this.
One hit wonder. We're in the Gentrys. Our fan club used to meet in a phone booth. You remember that old joke, right?
Yeah.
But we had the Gentrys out, Keep on Dancing back in the day, and
remember
right out of high
that.
school, we toured with Beach Boys, Sonny and Cher, and did all the Dick Clark tours. And then I got in the crazy world of professional wrestling, and I've been stuck ever since.
There's one of the guys, Gwiggy, the one that the comedian that you met. The guy that does the show with him, his name is actually Adrian Adonis.
Oh no! Oh, I used to
And
manage Adrian Adonis.
I
Oh,
saw
that's
that,
great.
and I was hoping he was going to be here tonight because he is such a big wrestling fan, and to have Adrian Adonis, and then I see that you had actually managed someone by that name.
Well, you know what? I got to tell you this. It's funny how things really work out in life. But we were in the airport, a friend of mine, Steve Chamberlain, I guess about 4 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And while we're in the airport, all of a sudden, I turn around, and this gentleman goes, "Are you Jimmy Hart?" I said, "Yes, I am." And he said, "You know what? I've watched the wrestling so many years." And I said, "Where you from?" And he said, "Pittsburgh." And I
Wow.
said, "You know what? The home of Bruno San Martino." And he goes, "You know what? I've always been a fan of Bruno." The
Yeah.
next thing you know, Chip and all of us are friends.
Yeah, that's how we met in the
Yeah.
airport. That's
Yeah,
right.
you've managed a lot of wrestlers.
Well, you better believe it. But we've had started off at first WrestleMania. Of course, Memphis days, it was Andy Kaufman
Right.
and Jerry the King Lawler and all those guys. But then when I went to New York, Madison Square Garden, the first WrestleMania, we were with Greg the Hammer Valentine, King Kong Bundy, and
Mm-hmm.
of course, then we had all the other wrestlers that we managed over there. I think somebody's flirting with you.
The baseball bat is
You
over
ought to
here.
sing it. You're going to be singing in a minute. Here's my
Yeah.
here's my number. So call me maybe.
I'm gonna shoot my wad here in a minute.
Oh my God! Hold on. Thank God we're on web radio. Also, I noticed too. What was the name of the female? Because you managed a female wrestling.
The Glamour
team.
Girls.
The Glamour
The
Girls.
Glamour Girls.
Yes.
Lonnie Kai and Judy Martin, we managed them up there. They used to fight the Jumping Bomb Angels from Japan. And at the end of the match, I always get a drop kick.
Oh my God!
I always get a drop kick at the very end of it from one of the Angels. So, but we lived through it. It's all good.
Is it a lot of is it different managing the women compared to the men? A lot.
Well, you can't be in the same dressing room with them, so that's a little bit different. But, the girls are pretty tough. They don't get a lot of credit sometimes for what they do. But back in those days, the Fabulous Moolah and Mae Young, all these ladies were just really, really rough. I mean, they came up the hard way back when you got $50 a night for wrestling and 4 or 5 ladies to a car.
Really?
Had to change in the restroom across the street at a service station to go into a small area where they wrestle over there. Would just, it was hard on. There's a great video out that Moolah put out called Lipstick and Dynamite. If you ever get a chance, you need to see it because it tells about the ladies wrestling back in the early 50s and 60s, and it's pretty brutal.
Now, I would imagine that the training process for the women, their bodies would take a beating just like the guys would. I would, to some extent.
Well, absolutely. Me and Chip were over at Chip. What was the name of the boxing arena we were at tonight where all the ladies were training?
L.A. boxing.
Yeah, L.A. boxing was
L.A.
over there.
boxing.
Yep, L.A. woman.
L.A.
L.A.
woman.
woman.
L.A. woman.
Chips and I'm going to tell you what we found out. We found out in life together
Yeah.
a lot of different crazy stories, but the strongest force in the world is what, Chip? A woman.
Pussy.
A woman.
Oh my
No, pussy.
God.
A woman.
Good Lord.
Most powerful thing on the planet is pussy.
Well, he's a little bit more blunter than I am. He's from that. He's
That's
from
because
that.
you're
No,
being a
listen,
Southern gentleman over here.
Hey, listen. When my father
I
died,
call it coochie.
Let him tell the story.
I call it
It's a true
coochie.
story.
Listen to the story. This
When
is
my
good.
father died,
Yeah.
I found 2 things in his office, and I was so. Can you ask him to turn up the headsets? How do you turn the
I
headsets
think
up?
it's on the monitor.
Wait a minute.
No, the headsets.
Yeah.
Follow the cord.
There.
No, ask that fucking tech to come in here.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's one of those
Ask
there.
the tech to come
Yeah.
in
It's
here.
got
Yo,
to be.
tech! I can't hear it.
He was going to turn
I don't want to hear it.
his headset up a little bit.
Can you turn the headset up?
Yeah, come here.
Anyway, I was so afraid of my dad that
Can
I
you
didn't
turn
go.
his
Can
headset
you turn
up?
these headsets up?
Where's
Can you
I
show,
don't-
can you
I
show
got
him?
control.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, turn the mic up on the headsets. I can't hear the headsets.
Thank
There
you.
go. We
Anyway.
got it working.
Yeah, the
Okay.
headsets.
How's that?
I can't. Still the same.
Try to use this thing. It may be broken. I'm probably in the shot too.
That's all right.
What the hell, right?
Come
What
on
the
in.
hell? That's exactly
They
right.
think you're a midget.
Here.
A midget wrestler.
Here, try this
No,
one.
this one's working.
Is it working?
All right, he's
Okay.
got
All
it.
right.
Thank
so
you.
All
anyway,
right.
For you, too.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
Sorry.
Anyway.
All right, so back to
So-
the story.
So here's the deal. My dad was such a scary guy that I was so afraid to go in his office. It took me about 3 months to go in there. I thought his ghost was going to fucking kick my ass. I'm not shitting you. That's how scary it was. So anyway, I go in his office. So the first thing I did is I slowly opened his drawer. You know, the the middle drawer in an office desk.
Right.
And at the very top of this desk, there was like 3 things. One was a detective's badge.
Mm-hmm.
No, real one.
Mm-hmm.
With the Miranda rights.
Mm-hmm.
Can only imagine what he had that for.
I like it. I like it.
All right. The second thing he had was a fucking little piece of like a laminated paper. It said, "A pussy hair will fucking pull a battleship."
Oh my gosh.
And the third thing that was in there was an article. It was like from about 1916 in Newcastle. It said that the contractor that got the contract to build Jefferson Street Hill
Mm-hmm.
should hire no people of Italian-American descent.
Really?
Yeah. That's why a lot of Italians change their name to like Jones or Smith. Or,
Right. Wow.
But they found those 3 things in there. And then he had a tape sitting there, right? Like a recording. And I'm listening to this. He must have used to record fucking people, like conversations and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So he's on the phone with some broad. Okay, and of course my mom was, she was, the loyal housewife. Never,
Who's a
but
sweetheart of a lady. As a
yeah,
matter
but
of
my
fact.
dad had probably, all kind of girlfriends.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm listening. I put this tape on, and it says him having this conversation with this lady, and she had a really sweet voice, and she said, on the tape, she said, "You know what, Charlie? I have to tell you, it's better to have loved and lost
Mm-hmm.
than to never have loved at all." And I fucking heard that, Of course, that was before I ever fell in love. And I said, whoever fucking said that saying, I got to look that up. I'd like to beat him right over the fucking head with this baseball bat, because I'm going to fucking tell you what. That's fucking saying is the fucking stupidest fucking saying I ever heard in my life, because that's a one painful motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, you're absolutely right.
Yes.
Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Let's change the subject there.
All right. All right. Well, I mean, that was, but love can always be good too. Everyone experiences all
say?
their ups and downs. So I just want to
but
just
Dee
put
Dee-
that
What
out
did I
there.
say?
Have you loved and lost?
Yes.
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 I think everybody's had a little bit of
Yeah.
heartbreak.
I mean,
We need violins behind us.
we do.
Here,
yeah, there you go.
that's the smallest violin in the world.
I love it.
So Jimmy, where are you headed? You're headed to California.
Well, this weekend I'm going to Los Angeles, California. It's
Yeah.
going to be a show called Metal Fest out there. It have a lot
Metal
of rock
Fest.
and rollers and wrestlers on it, and spend a few days. But I just came back from Canada this past week,
Did
and
you?
boy, was it cold there.
Oh, I bet.
it cold up
really
there,
cold.
Jim?
It was real cold. Let me tell you that now. But and then from there to Boston. But it was a good run. We did Comic-Con up there. Stan Lee was on it. The guy who did all
Yeah.
the Superman stuff and
But what were
everything.
you doing there exactly?
Doing autographs. I had
Oh,
Paul
good.
Bearer was next to me. We
Yeah.
had Tatanka, the Indian wrestler that we
Oh,
had back
wow.
in the day, and so
Tonka.
Paul Bearer, Paul Bearer was there. But it had all kind of stars. They had the porno chicks in one side of the
Oh
room.
boy.
They had Superman was there. The guy who played Superman, Hercules. The guy who did Hercules, and of
Wow.
course all the fans were just dressed as their favorite characters.
Right.
But everybody had a good time. They really did.
Well, you stay. I mean, you travel a lot doing just autographs everywhere.
Well, there was a movie out not long ago called The Wrestler.
Right.
And for some
Right,
reason,
right.
everybody
Yeah.
thought that everybody was like a wrestler. You
Mickey
lived in,
Rourke.
Yeah, Mickey
Yeah.
Rourke. You lived in a trailer.
Yeah.
Everybody had no money.
That was a great movie.
It was a good movie, but it was a little Hollywood on the end of it because they acted like this poor guy, this is all he could make was doing this, and his daughter left him, and his cat left him,
I
his dog
actually
left
thought
him.
that was a great movie.
But you know what? That changed his career because Mickey Rourke was
Mickey who?
Rourke.
Rourke. Yeah,
Right.
let me-
It's the southern twang behind there,
Rourke.
too.
Yeah, Mickey Week.
But you know who I'm talking about.
You know what? A quick story on that, too. Greg the Hammer Valentine was walking down in Miami changing flights.
Right.
Mickey Rourke was there. He saw him walking down. And Greg tells a story where he called him over. They talked to him. They said, you know what? We're going to be shooting a movie in about 3 weeks. We'd like to fly you down to Miami. 3
Oh.
weeks came up. They flew Greg down to Miami.
They
He went down. They
did.
spent a week down there. They picked his brain. They talked about how the wrestling was. They talked about how they saw him walking down there just kind of slow motion with a briefcase. They said, you're going to be in the movie. Not only he wasn't in the movie, didn't get paid for going down there, and wasn't even invited to the premiere.
Wow.
No,
Yep, sure did.
really?
Yep.
That's not good.
Well, it wasn't good for Greg.
But it made a lot of money, that movie.
Movie did very, very
Yeah.
well. Sure did real well.
But that sucks that they would pick his brain and then not pay him or not do any of that kind of stuff. But it happens. It's show business. It happens.
the hammer got pinned.
Yeah.
1,
the
2, 3.
hammer. Exactly. Wow. That's,
But we do a lot of things too. We have a good friend. I know we talked about him before, Steve Chamberlain.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
his, actually, he's Italian. His name's Steve Chamberlino.
I like that. Dun,
Yeah,
dun, dun, dun.
Is he?
Well, you know,
He's
there's only
Italian.
he's Italian now.
Is he? He's Italian
Well,
now.
there's only two types of people in this world.
What?
There's Italians, people who want to be Italian.
There
That's
you go.
it.
And the Jersey Shore.
And the Jersey Shore.
And the Jersey Shore.
It's only Italians. That's it. There's-
People are Italians and people who want to be Italians. That's it.
and
It's the only fucking
what
two.
about the rest of the world? What are they considered as?
Wannabes.
Wannabes. I'm a wannabe.
There you go.
Jimmy, what are you?
Never was. Never was, baby.
Never was. What?
Listen, unless you change your name, your name would be Miss Dee Dee Dumbarino.
I'm actually a Locklear. I'm Indian.
Loclarino.
Locarino.
Yeah,
Locarino.
Jimmy's name would be Jimmy Hardrino.
Ooh, I like that.
Locarino.
I like that.
So-
Maybe it's due for a
Hartino.
name change.
Yeah.
like Al Martino would be Jimmy Hartino.
Yeah.
That's kind of got a nice little ring
We
to
could, we
it.
could go sing the clubs and everything, the little supper clubs for spaghetti and bread. Hey, hey. I like it. We can do it. We can do
Well, you
it.
could sing, Jimmy. Sing us a couple bars. Come on.
Well, that's.
I
a
mean,
very
come
good-
on. Go back to your Nashville days with Elvis, and you just tell me a story
Well, you
about
got to
it.
have a tip jar out there somewhere. But hey,
We could probably get a few people to bring one in here for you.
I don't know. I'm looking at that crowd. I don't think there's much money out there, baby. I'm telling you that right now.
I don't think so
It
either.
looks, maybe enough for a dadgum crystal hamburger. That's going to be it. And one chocolate milkshake with 6 straws.
Exactly. We're going to share.
Saving
That's
money,
right.
baby. But what I was going to tell you, we have a friend, Steve Chamberlain, and he's got a charity called 50 Legs. So we try to jump in and do a lot of stuff with him. I know a couple of weeks ago we had a big car.
Yeah.
And Chip and I were over in
Yeah.
Washington cars, and he's got a
Thank
few
God
things
that
coming up.
DJ was there.
Oh, wasn't the music
Tony,
great? Oh, I
Tony
loved it.
Marzano.
Yeah.
He's a hell of a DJ because he kept us going, because we were fucking tired. I mean, you just get into the beat.
Did y'all wash a lot of cars?
150 fucking cars.
No,
Yes.
150 cars.
In 1 minute. No, no. No, but I got to tell you, but let me tell you how I got hooked. This is it. Steve calls me and goes, Jimmy, I've got this boat thing tomorrow night. It's only from 9 to 12.
Oh, my God.
9 to
I'm
12.
glad I ain't
Now, I
going.
knew
That's
something was wrong because Chip's pretty smart on these things. And Chip goes, I'd like to go to this, but I think I might pass on this one. So I should have woke up on that part. I should have realized there's something happening on this. So Chip said,
I just couldn't see myself
Yeah,
stuck on this
okay.
fucking boat.
Okay, well, I wish I could have saw myself. Not.
I'd have been
So-
like swimming over.
So
Huh?
Chip, so Chip puts the life preserver on and jumps off the ship. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay. And Steve goes, well, my chick's been in the hospital and I want to see her. I said, well, don't go to the football game then. Oh, hell no, I'm going to the ball game,
Oh,
shit.
my. So
But I won't go on the boat trip tonight. So I'm thinking, well, she don't want to go. And we have a friend named Kat. And all of a sudden, Kat, she's not going to go on the boat tonight. Well, guess who went on the boat?
She's pretty smart,
you are a
too.
loyal friend.
I went on the boat, and all of a sudden, while I'm on the boat, I realize after I get on it and it starts going out, it doesn't come back till 2:30 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
So from 9 o'clock became 2:30.
Oh,
So I'm
my
sitting there
goodness.
going, whoa. And then they said, look, we got to get back before high tide because if we don't, we won't get back to 6 a.m. because the boat can't get through the damn dock up there. And I went, oh, my
Oh.
Lord, I hope we get back. But it was a pretty crazy experience. But we did it for Steve, and but that was pretty wild and crazy. So next time I'll let them go on the boat, and I'll wave
and
goodbye
you
from the
go-
shore.
And you go to the football game.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, my
I did go to the
gosh.
ball game. The ball game was good. The Bucks won. So it turned out pretty good for that. So I really enjoyed that. So
So is he? Does he have a lot going on? I mean, that's a great cause because when we were with when Chip had taken us down to Hulk Hogan's new store opening
Right.
up, and that little girl, that to see her being given a new leg.
That was beautiful.
I mean, wasn't that the sweetest thing? And she was
Sweet,
so
it was,
excited. And I
Fucking
mean,
rip your heart out.
yeah,
Kaylee,
it
I
was-
think her name was Kaylee.
yeah, she was
And
excited
the other thing is
about
that not only her, but I mean that Steve is such an inspiration to people.
Well,
it was
I mean,
me,
look
like,
at him. He's so buffed up, and he's a big guy. He's a
Yeah,
you
but I
know.
complain some days like, oh, I don't feel like getting out of fucking bed this morning. I mean, I'm
And what do you have to? He probably
tired.
looks at
No,
you
he
like,
calls me up,
why? What do you
no,
have to
he'll
complain
fucking text
about?
me. Listen, he sends me a text. He goes, Chip, better get the fuck out of bed or I could come over and drag you out of bed and beat the fuck out of you.
Yeah, well, that's
I mean,
what would you have to
and he's got
complain
one
about?
leg and he's type 1 diabetic.
Wake up call. Wake up call.
That's exactly
It's a
right.
fucking walk win.
Well, at least you get up out of bed and do what you got to do
Well, I don't
because
want him to kick my ass.
it could always the situation could be worse.
I don't want to fucking beat shit out of him. That's a big fucking guy. I mean, bench press is 385. Like,
That's why you're carrying that little baseball bat.
no, I'm just like, you know what? I have been playing with this football and all day long. And it's baseball. We were playing catch on the beach. I'm like, last 2 days. Huh?
Gwiggy was saying, is that baseball autographed? I said, I don't know.
Oh, the
if
football?
the
No,
mean
no,
the
I do
football.
autograph these and hand them out.
And
to
I
people.
said, if it's not, it will be.
No, I have done that.
Yeah, that's
No,
what.
because I'll tell people, can we? I get.
Yeah.
Like, look, I'm nobody. Yeah, sure, okay. The more you tell, isn't that? Do you ever have that happen to you?
Big time. Especially with Chip. Chip and I went to the Bucks football game, not
We're-
this past week,
we're
but the week
walking-
before. We're walking downstairs, and I said, when I got through, I'm watching Chip, and I thought, I wonder what office he's fixing to run for. For mayor? I mean, everybody knows him, and everybody go, hey, good to see you. How you doing? Oh, all right. I'm sitting there going, damn, this is great. I said, I'll be your vice, whatever, if they have a vice mayor or something.
I have to
come
tell
on,
you,
Jimmy, this was the
It was
guy,
good.
though. I mean, we must have took.
We took a
I
lot of
must have
pictures.
took 50 fucking pictures for him.
No,
people-
you
okay.
did great. You were in it with me. So, but the fans
No,
are great.
they recognize. It was so beautiful to watch people recognize
Well,
you.
we've been around so many years.
Everybody knows who you are.
Well, I don't
Yeah,
know
they
about
do.
everybody
no,
now,
they
but
they know who you
If-
are for
listen,
sure.
If they don't know him, they look at him and they go,
I recognize him.
and they just have that face like, I know who that guy is, but
Yeah.
it's so funny to watch.
It was funny. We were up at my club this past weekend,
what club's that?
the Zone Lounge up in Tarpon, and
Where's it at?
in Tarpon Springs.
right.
In Tarpon Springs, but I've been there for 6 years. Would love for everybody to come out.
I mean,
But-
listen. Here's what I don't
but-
understand. This fucking club is the coolest place. I'm telling you, I used to own a couple nightclubs. This club is so fucking nice, but nobody. It's like
It's the
I don't
oldest.
get it. I don't
It's
fucking
the
understand it.
oldest building in Tarpon Springs. It's 7,000 square feet with a 3,000 square foot courtyard, and
I think we
it's-
should rent an
it's
airplane.
a cool building, and but I've had so many. I had a Greek bomb up there, and then people stopped coming. One issue right
I think
after
we should
another.
have rent an airplane, have a
Wait,
band.
you got a
fly.
what? A Greek bomb?
Someone put
No,
a
put a
Greek
bomb.
bomb, a pipe bomb, on the building next to mine,
Yeah.
and it blew out all my windows, blew
Yeah.
my doors off the hinges. My insurance didn't cover it. I had to pay for everything, and my business, all the news people were there, and my business just went.
And here's the other thing
yeah.
I don't understand. Listen, now I'm new to Facebook, okay? On this Facebook thing, okay? Now she posts these fucking pictures. Now, this guy Zane Cool over here.
Yeah.
He's one of the baddest photographers around. He takes these beautiful pictures of all these beautiful people
Yeah.
hanging out, partying at the Zone. She posts them on Facebook. Now I got over 1,000 friends. She got over 1,000 friends.
Yeah.
Stephanie got over 1,000 friends. Their friends and his friends, he got over 1,000 friends. That's 4,000 friends, and their friends' are all
Yeah.
seeing these.
Yeah.
Okay, now where the fuck are all these people? That's what I don't
Well,
understand.
you know what it
And
is
then
is
the
they.
best part, it's even better. Her and Stephanie are the two most beautiful fucking girls in the whole fucking area down here.
Oh no,
Bar
there's
none. I'd go up there just to watch them with the shit.
well, you know what?
their
Everyone thinks
outfits,
Tarpon
their
Springs is so
personalities, you know.
far away,
Sounds
and
like the
it's
pipe
not.
bombs kill the crowd.
It's been challenging for me, and
They
I've
would
had
have
it for
brought my
6
friends
years.
right in, though. You know what I mean?
But some
what?
people, yeah, your friends wouldn't have been afraid of it.
Of course, it could have been one of the. That's actually my specialty. I'm
Yeah.
a bomb maker.
Maybe we should
I'm
bring.
pretty good. I'm actually pretty good at making.
Maybe we should get.
Yeah, and pipe bomb wouldn't have it wouldn't have scared them off whatsoever, but it scared everybody else off. But Chip came in because they had he was the judge at a comedy show over the weekend.
Yeah, we had a fun.
And so
and
they
Papa
came,
Cherry was there. Holy
yeah,
shit.
Papa Cherry, Adrian Adonis, which he's
You
not
should
here
have been
tonight.
there, Jimmy. Honestly,
It
God,
was a fun night.
I
We
wish I had been. I was freezing up in Canada.
Oh my God, we had Chip came up. He was in his leather jacket, and what was
I was
funny,
looking pretty fucking
and
good. wasn't I?
he was looking good. So everybody's coming up and saying, "Who's that guy? He looks really important. Who is that guy?"
You should
And,
have said he's the guy that cleans the toilets and empties the fucking trash over here.
I was, and they're like, he looks really
Flair,
important. So he's out there. He and Steph are out there dancing all night, and they're getting down, tearing the dance floor up. So Zane got some really good pictures of
Yeah.
Chip
And then
Steph.
and Johnny G was there with Jess.
With Jess from
and, so
yeah.
I just
Oh, the little
met
midget girl.
Yeah.
I-
What a sweetheart she
Hey,
is.
Hey,
Oh
who
my
don't-
God.
I want to know, who don't you trust?
I've always said never trust a midget. You know why? Because you never know where they've been. Well, that's what I used to say. I can't help it. We used to do that. All right. We used to,
Yeah, can you-
all
yeah.
right, back in the day on Memphis TV,
Right.
when you could say stuff like that and have
Right.
so much fun, the midgets would come to town once a year
Right.
for Christmas,
Right.
Because all the little kids came out. That's the only time you let them in. But you never saw the midgets any place anywhere. Never until a midget came to town and put on TV, and all of a sudden 500 midgets show up at the auditorium. They're coming out of the woodwork. They're coming out of the walls. It's like, where all these midgets hide out during the day? You never see them anywhere.
Oh,
So
my
what happened? I had to go on TV one day, and I said, Lance Russell, and I said, let me tell you something right now. I said, I can't wait to get to the ring on Monday night because I'm going to take little Tokyo, and I'm going to put him across my leg, and I'm going to whip him, and I'm going to slap him, and I'm going to beat him. And all of a sudden, while I'm doing it, all the two little midgets run out. One's bite me on the butt. The other's trying to kick me in the face. I fall over the desk. They're all over me, and I
Oh,
fight
my
away.
God.
And then it gave me my interview, and I said, Monday night at the Coliseum, I promise you this.
Oh.
I said, and I ended it with, because remember one thing, never trust a midget. And
Never
I always into that, right?
Oh my God.
And I always got beat up in the matches. I don't know what the hell. I never won a match.
No, she was absolutely. We had such a good time, and she was so sweet. It's
Yeah,
such
she's
a
a good girl.
such a good girl. But we had a blast. We
She can drink too. Woo!
Oh,
Let me tell you something.
yeah, we had quite a bit of Jägermeisters and oh God, what's the not something bomb.
Oh, you just had a blonde moment.
I did. I had.
You can't
I had
remember.
a blonde moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
blonde moment. That's all right.
What is it? No, it wasn't a car bomb. Something else she was drinking, something bomb. But I don't do a lot of shots, so everyone kept ordering all these shots, and I was like, "Oh God, I don't do all these shots." So I kept, I would take a sip and share it with everybody else. But, yeah, we had a fun night though. We closed the place, and Chip had a blast. He was out there dancing, but it was funny. Everybody was like, "Who is he? He looks really important."
Who said that?
10 people.
Get the fuck out of here.
Hell, the club only had 12 in it.
I know, exactly. All
What
10
the
people.
hell?
You know,
It was a
are
good
you
crowd.
serious?
It
No,
was a good
are you
crowd.
serious?
Yeah, I told you
Listen,
that
we need
night.
to come up. Chip needs to put his mastermind together.
Yeah.
Let's come up one night, put something special on. We need to figure out somebody. You got to advertise. It's all about. I mean,
Yeah.
listen, you could have Andre the Giant fighting Hulk Hogan there, but if nobody knows about it, nobody's going
Exactly.
to show up.
Yeah.
We just got to
Yeah.
figure out a way to let the whole town know about it and have something very, very special.
Yeah, it's always been a place that I've had for 6 years. I've never had to actually, Jimmy, you've never had to worry about advertising. It's just everyone just knew about
Well,
it.
hell, nobody ain't got nobody coming if you don't advertise.
No,
they won't know it.
now I have to. Now it's like at a point that but I am making changes. I'm in the process of changes. Tomorrow making transitions.
Well, remember one thing: if you do what you've always done, you're going to have what you've always had. Which means,
Yeah.
if you're doing great, keep it up. If you ain't, you better change
Well,
the menu,
no,
baby.
that's exactly. I'm changing the menu back to the way that I used to do things that always did really, really well for
And what
me.
was that?
So, you know what? It's
It's just a thing.
But she's had a
Ain't
blonde
nothing
moment.
but
You
a
can't think what it
thing.
was.
I'm going back to, well, first of
Basics.
all, to the basics. And it's very important when you're in a local community to
You want
be
me to bring my bat
personal.
up there? And you need me to come up with the bat? You call me
Batman.
Batman.
no, you don't call me Bat.
Batman.
No, please don't call me that.
I promise I won't call you back. Yeah. No, what was the other costume that you had at Halloween? When you took
I
the
am
picture.
Captain. I am Captain America.
Captain America. That's who he
I
is.
like it.
Captain,
I
Captain
like
America.
it.
Yeah, that's Captain
Like
America.
Iron Man, he says, "I am Iron Man."
What time? Where are we at tonight? I'm surprised they haven't queued us over here to. We got what?
I am Captain
8
America.
minutes. We're at 8:00. Yeah.
Yes, I am. I will tell the world I am Captain America.
So we're going to go ahead and take a break here for a few minutes. Thank you. And we'll be back. And there again, if you want to call in to Jimmy Hart or talk to Sierra.
727-597-4022.
There you go. You got it. And we'll
yeah. Call this number now.
Please do. And
How
we'll
did I
be
get
back
this
shortly.
fucking thing? I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
let that go here.
Woke up this morning, looked in the mirror. I couldn't believe the bruises on my face. Got into a fight with you last night. How bad was your eyes? Somebody tell me why. You always I can't remember why this morning some stranger called you on my phone. So you talk your way right out the door, telling me you gotta go home. Funny how your mom said you never showed.
We're back. We're
All right,
back.
It's live. It's live.
We want to shout out to some of our sponsors.
Yes.
Trim Nutrition.
Trim Nutrition. Recla.
Recla Metals,
Recla Metals.
CBS Metals,
CBS.
Yeah.
CBS. The Zone Lounge. My
The
place.
Zone
Are we?
Lounge.
Are we on?
Yep,
We're on
back
now.
in there, baby.
Huh?
We're getting some feedback here, bro.
We got a call. Perfect.
right,
Caller.
beautiful.
Caller. Who's calling in?
Yeah, this is Billy from San Francisco.
Hi, Billy. You're on, Billy.
Oh, hey, yeah, I'm a real big fan of Jimmy because a friend of mine follows wrestling, and he told me all about the wrestling world, and he showed me a picture of Jimmy, and he looks like kind of a small, well-built guy, but not like the big wrestlers. And when did you wrestle, Jimmy?
Well, what happened, Billy, is years ago, back when territories were smaller, we started in Memphis, Tennessee, with Jerry the King Lawler. Andy Kaufman came down to our territory too and worked with us. But the matches I were in, once in a while, I might be in a handicap match, which was really maybe a tag team match where my guy went in there and did all the work. I'd come in and get the pin. Or I know one time with Jesse the Body Ventura. You remember Jesse Ventura? He turned out to be the mayor of Minnesota. I'm the governor of Minnesota back in the day. I remember one of the matches we had. Jerry Lawler with the San Diego Chicken fought me and Jesse the Body Ventura. The loser had to wear a chicken outfit up and down Main Street in Memphis, Tennessee for a week. And you know who that was? Me. So I really was never a professional wrestler, but I was always able to kind of get in there and bounce around a little bit and have some fun.
Okay, all right, that answers my question.
By the way, did you call collect? I hope you didn't.
They took the
We have a small
charges.
budget here. Good,
They took the
good.
charges.
Hey, but how's the weather in San Francisco?
It's cool and windy, and it's raining a little bit.
Ooh,
Yeah.
well, there you go. Well, thanks for
Let
calling
me ask
in.
you. Can I ask you another
Yes, sir,
question?
please.
Yeah, I remember watching 60 Minutes when they interviewed. I think it was Hulk Hogan.
Right?
Right. I think it was John Stossel, and they had this big expose interview about wrestling and how phony.
Well, the
it
guy
is.
who slapped him was named David Schultz. I
Okay.
remember what you were talking about. And then Huck had a major lawsuit. Remember the comedian Belser that it's either Richard Belser. I think he's on one of those cop shows now. But he was a big comedian back then, and Huck and Mr. T were doing the show. And so Richard Belser says, look, is this wrestling really real? Can you put me in a sleeper? He said, I don't want to put Huck says, I'd rather not put you in a sleeper. This is live on TV, and he goes, please put me. How am I going to know if it's real if you don't put me in the sleeper? See if it really puts me out. He said, yep, I can really put you out. He said, please put me in the sleeper. He goes, okay, you wanted me to do it. Well, when Hulk did it, he passed out. The guy hit his head, had stitches in it, and sued Hulk and won $350,000 on something he asked him to do.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yep, sure did.
That's crazy.
There's journalism for you.
Yep, you better believe it.
Yeah.
But any questions? We got Chips on the panel here. We got, of course, DD. But anything you want to ask Chipster?
Yeah, Chip, your dad and what you didn't go into his office until after he died. It took you how long did it take you?
Took me about at least 3 months. Took me at least 3 months going there. I was scared of the fucking guy. I mean, really. He was the only person in my whole life I've ever been afraid of.
And you actually found what you found. I mean, that's
a true story. Absolutely. Yeah. I found a badge, a detective badge with the Miranda rights in it, which I've used many times. Still have that badge. I found a piece of paper. It was laminated. It said, "A pussy hair will pull a fucking battleship." I also found.
I wish I had that kind of pull, but obviously I'm doing something wrong.
Well, believe me,
I mean,
you got that kind of pull, and if you're not using that pull, then you're doing something wrong.
I obviously am. My
You're
goodness.
spending too much time in the zone.
I find or in the house. You need to get out of the fucking house now.
I get out, but I meet people, but I still, I obviously am not doing something right.
I don't know, dude. You look like you do everything right. I tell you, you're a beautiful woman. You're
Thank you.
very one of the most classiest girls that I have ever met in my entire life.
Thank
Next
you
to my
very-
mother, very classy lady.
Thank you, Chip. I
And of
agree.
course, our new friend Catherine Michelle.
Catherine Michelle.
Yes, very
Yeah.
classy.
Is that her
lady.
last name? I've known her for 2
Catherine
years. Never
Michelle.
knew her last name. No, Cat's such a. I don't know. Have you met Cat?
No, I haven't.
She is such a wonderful, wonderful
Oh, my
person.
God.
She really is.
Now who
Unbelievable.
is she? I haven't met her.
We were introduced at the car wash, and I mean, she just dug right in and was washing cars with us, and I mean,
Now is this the girl
she's
that
a,
the blonde that was in y'all's pictures?
yeah, model,
Oh, okay,
actress,
okay.
Just extraordinaire.
I
Two beautiful
haven't.
children. Anyway, the third thing, Mike, or Billy, whatever the fuck your name. What was it, Billy or Bob? Was it Billy Bob?
He's not remembering anything at the moment. It's a memory relapse.
The third thing was a newspaper clipping from like about 1926, I think it was. And it may have been earlier, but I think it was 1926. It said, the contractor that shall get the contract to do the street of Jefferson Street Hill. It was in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. That whoever was awarded the contract will hire people of no people of Italian descent. And that was in the Newcastle News. Because it was a county funded project for the city, or city funded for the street, and it was a public invitation bid back in the 20s, and we still have racism today. I mean, personally, Jimmy doesn't like midgets. I mean,
Yes.
but,
I'm so scared of them.
And the fourth thing, like I said, was that tape in the tape recorder. I popped it up. I said, what's he got this for? And then there was a thing that you attach, in the old days, them little micro cassette recorders, right?
Right.
And it had a suction cup thing on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then you put the suction cup on the end of the receiver. You remember those, Jimmy?
Yep.
And he must have recorded a bunch of conversations, because I still have the freaking thing, right?
Wow.
Yeah, there was some other things, but I mean, that's the one thing that stuck out in my mind. This girl's voice was very, very, she had a very, and my dad, it almost sounded like my dad was hurting or something, and my dad was tough as nails. I mean, that dude he spit nails, this guy. I mean, he was a tough son of a bitch. I mean, people were scared to death of him. And anyway,
It's funny too, because when Chip and I first met, when I was growing up,
Wait a minute. When you were growing up,
when I was growing up, my family, my father had scrap companies. So when we met, we had a
mutual
mutual
bond.
a bond, because and my father built the Darlington 500 Raceway Speed Track, the Charlotte, the Raleigh.
Damn.
And when I was a little girl, my father was very, very tough. So when we really started talking, we had a lot of the same upbringing. And my father was, I never got to date because guys were too afraid to go out with me because, of who I never even went to a prom. I mean, a guy wasn't allowed to call my house, and it was a very strict lifestyle for me. You know what?
Good
It
question.
was a very, very my mother was really good, but my father, he was really tough, and I just didn't, in his mind, If a guy did call my house and it was checking the family, who he was, the background. So it was kind of difficult for me. And I ended up moving off at a very young age. And but when we met, we had so many things in common as far as lifestyle wise, you know. So it's interesting to hear him say that, because when my father died, it was the same. Like
You found all that stuff, like
it was
the
weird.
letters
It
and
was
everything,
like a
remember?
weird thing. Yeah, it was really weird, but it's all good. All good. All
It's just
good.
amazing that that tape was right at that point, though, because my dad was like, I'd never heard him in that kind of, I'd
Yeah.
never seen him in that kind of light,
Right.
or ever heard his tone level like that, and for him to be listening was a. Oh, no. It was a friend of his, kind of. It almost sounded like it was a friend of his consoling. She was just such a sweet person and such a sweet voice, and she said, "Well, you know, Charlie," because everybody called my dad Charlie Brown, and she said, "You know, Charlie, it's better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all."
Actually, a very nice moment that you probably didn't really hear a whole lot. Yeah.
My dad.
Yeah. Meaning like
Are
a
you
very.
freaking kidding me?
Well,
My
that's what I'm
fucking
saying.
dad
That's how-
never,
yeah.
Listen, he tied me to a tree with the fucking dog one time. No, I'm not shitting you. I was 15 years old. True story. I got caught picking up. I was buying beer. You know, me and a buddy of mine was taking these two girls, going out, smoking some weed. You know, I got 3 6-packs of beer. I used to get served. 15. I was 15. Twilight Lounge in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. I come walking out of this joint with 3 6-packs, and this guy is starting to approach me with a suit on. I used to go
Right.
there all the time. And he comes up to me and says, "Can I see your ID?" And I said, "I don't have a ID on me." And he said, "Well, how old are you?" I said, "I'm 15." He says, "What are you doing with the beer?" And I said, "Well, I just got."
Couldn't you
I
have at
was
least
real
said
quick.
18?
No, I was real quick with the stories. I said,
Right.
"Look," I said, "this beer's from my uncle. I just, I come pick it up for him all the time." So he brings me inside the bar joint, the Twilight Lodge, to identify who sold it to me. And I kept telling him on the way in there, I says, "Look, nobody sold me this this beer. The guy gave it to me." I says, "I come pick it up." So they were sweating inside the joint. So I walk in there and I said, he said, "Who sold this beer to you?" I said, "Nobody sold it to me." I said, "I went right in the cooler. I picked it up. I put it in the bag myself and I walked out with it." I said, I was going to go take it to my uncle, so I didn't want to get him in
Right.
trouble.
Right.
I was trained at an early age.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we get, he takes me to the police station at that time. My dad was just coming in from Chicago. My mom and my cousin Dave had to come pick me up. Okay, take me home. My dad comes on. I'm begging my mom. I said, "Mom, please don't tell Dad what happened. He's going to beat the shit out of me." "Well, Chip, I think I should tell him. I just think it's the right thing to do. And I'm like begging her, right?
Why was he in Chicago?
That's a whole nother story. I mean, of course,
That's another whole show.
No, wait, so that's a true story. So listen, he comes home, and my mom, we had this basement, it was all fixed up, with the bar and everything, and we go downstairs, and my mom shows him his ticket. He hands the ticket. He's looking at it like this, and he looks at me, he looks at this ticket, and next thing you do, he punches me right in the face, right?
Oh.
He drags me over to the bar. He goes behind the bar. He went to go grab the JB, the bottle of JB. It was fucking empty. And I wasn't smart enough back then to put like colored water in there to go replace it. Because
you had drank it?
well, I wanted to be just like him. You know what I mean? I hung out with them guys since I was a little kid.
Right.
So I drank his JB. They'd sit me at the bar and make me drink Shirley Temples, but secretly I was drinking JB.
Right.
Because that's what they drank. So anyway, he goes, "Fuck, where's the JB?" And I'm like, I'm not going to tell him. I'm in trouble anyway. So he grabs the bottle of Jack Daniels, and he proceeds to pour me a full glass, water glass, of Jack Daniels.
Oh.
Made him one with water rocks, right?
Yeah.
And he says, "Now listen, every time that I have to tell you to take a drink, I'm going to punch you in the face." And
Oh,
oh yeah.
that was his discipline.
Well, that's how it started. Halfway through the bottle, I started to take off, and I was drunk. I was puking.
Oh,
and then,
my
then of course, he shoved
God.
a cigar in my mouth. made me smoke a cigar. He smoked these big cigars. It was like this.
Because he
long.
felt like if you wanted to be a man,
That's
you were
exact.
Gonna,
Those were his
that's-
exact
that's
words. He
exact-
goes, "Oh,
I
big
know, I
man."
know.
He says, "Oh, you want to be a big man, huh?"
I know.
He said, "Well, we're gonna fucking drink all together."
Yeah.
And that's what he did, you know. And I took off running. He caught me about halfway through the garage. I was just running outside. He grabbed one of the metal dog chains. He wrapped it around my neck.
Oh my lord!
And he drugged me to the tree with my dog Snoopy. And he says, "If you're gonna act like an animal, I'm gonna treat you like an animal."
Holy mackerel!
And my uncle, and my mom, and my other uncle John, my uncle Steve was there. My mom, nobody could stop him, man. It was crazy. And I stayed out there till they all went to bed. It was raining outside. I undid the chain, and I took off. I was working for him too at that time.
Wow, that's
Damn.
tough. That's tough.
That's tough love there, huh, brother?
That is.
No,
that
you know
is,
what that was? A wake-up call.
Did you ever do that again?
Listen, I got to tell you, most normal people, honestly, most normal people, you know what they do?
They wouldn't,
They'd never do it again.
but you did.
It was like putting fucking gasoline
Yeah.
on a fire.
Yeah.
Because I went crazy after that. I
Oh,
mean,
I can
I
see-
just started my own gang.
I can
No,
see
I really
that.
did. I went nuts. I mean, I was. Oh, please! You don't even know the stuff I did to him.
Oh,
Oh
I,
my
I
God,
can
I
only,
used to-
I can only imagine.
I mean,
But-
Jimmy, what was your life like? I mean, was it similar to that, or did you have
Well,
a loving father?
You're from the
I mean, because I got to
South.
tell you, I don't know. My dad never said he loved me. Never gave me a hug. You know, and I think I'm so different in that today. I mean, you see, I am
Yeah,
with kids.
yeah.
D.
Yeah, you are. You're very loving. You're
I
very
mean-
loving. I think because maybe you didn't have that.
I don't know, maybe it is, but I mean, do you understand what I'm
No,
saying?
absolutely. Well, I came from a single parent, just me and my mom. We lived in Jackson, Mississippi, where I was born. We went right to Memphis. Spent my whole career, life in Memphis up until about 17 years ago before I came here. But single parent, we had to. She worked a couple of different jobs. I always worked at the grocery stores too, which bought my money for my clothes and stuff
Mhm.
too. Didn't even start driving until 19. So
Oh wow.
that we didn't even have a car then. She rode the bus to
Wow.
work. Had to do a transfer thing, 2 stops, and then also I had to go to. Like I said before, I walked to school back in the day. But you know what? I think where you came from, it makes you the way you really are today. Because this guy's he's got such a big heart, and I'm
Yes, he
I'm just
does.
being truthful. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And
That's why our team's called All Heart, brother.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the point of it is, it's just everybody goes through something special in their life that, and like he's been working on a project called Wake Up Call, which is Wawin.
Wuckwin.
Wuckwin. It's hard for me to
The
say.
road,
I
the
just
road
wake
to
up-
Wuckwin.
I just say Wake Up Call. That's what it really stands for. But
You know,
I-
there's a formula for Wuckwin. You know, there is a formula.
tell them the formula.
Well, every person in your life has a wake up call,
Right.
Absolutely.
and it's what you do with it after that is what really is important. You know, it's almost like that. A bit like I said today. I said, you know, the worst mistake you could ever make is not learning from a mistake.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
all of us make mistakes,
Right.
but if you don't learn from a mistake, it's worse than making a mistake. You know what I mean? So when I had this wake up call, I mean, it was I'll never forget it. It was September 23rd at 5:30
5 minutes.
in the afternoon, and somebody did something in my presence, and my first initial reaction was total shock. I was just so shocked that they said what they said what they said. The next feeling I had was fear. After fear, I went into grief. Then I went into sadness. And then I got mad. And after you get mad, you have what's called a wuck. Because I used to say, I'm like
Yeah.
Donald Duck and I don't give a fuck. I said, and what's a duck sound like? Wuck, 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 wuck. That's a wuck. And then it was a win. I got real happy because the
Yeah.
light bulb went off and I had a wuck win.
Right.
It was a wake up call to a win, you know, like hitting
That's a good thing.
Oh, that's a whole nother.
for another
I know,
show.
and that's for another show. And we
Stay tuned next week.
Stay tuned. And you know, at the end of the day, we all go through a lot of things in life, but at the end of the day, it does make you the people that you are. And we want to thank Trim Nutrition. We want to thank the Zone Lounge. We want to thank Reckless Steel.
Oh, so
And see over here for Crazy. And Jimmy Hart.
And
thank
remember,
you so
before
much.
we go, never trust a midget. See you next week.
Thank you very much. It's it's been a great show. Thank you
Love
so
you,
much.
Jimmy.
See ya.
I love you. Hey, did anybody call a cab? We're here, buddy.
Thank you so much, Jimmy.
Thank you, baby.
you, and good luck with everything
Thank
that
you
you're
so
doing.
much.
And please come back on with Steve Chamberlain, and we'll talk about the 50 legs.
If his girlfriend lets him out of the house, we'll try to get him out here.
Oh boy, bring her on too.
There
Hey,
you go. I
the
like
girlfriends can come along. You know, it's no problem with us.
I like it.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks for,
Good night. Thank you
let
for
me
a
on the
great
sh-
show.
Thanks for
Thank
letting
you,
me be on the show tonight too.
Thank you.
And
Mike,
share. That was
Zane.
wonderful to share.
Yeah, I know. Hey, maybe we need to start sharing a little bit more.
See, you work better in that middle seat.
I'm okay. This is different.
Man,
This is,
I hope this doesn't turn out her in the middle seat. You know who'll be sitting over there? The cat.
oh my God, Steph. We know Steph is she's the alpha queen in here.
You know, what's
She
it
is
for?
strong. I mean, she is.
She is. I just usually follow along, but tonight
Yeah,
you
she-
guys
You
were
led the
great.
show tonight, baby. It's
You
all
guys
good.
were
You know
great.
why?
That's because
you
it
had a
was-
wake up call.
I did. I had a wake up call.
Let's say hi
Hallelujah.
to Steph
Hallelujah.
let's say hi to Steph in Europe too.
Steph, we love you. We hope you're having a great time. And I can't wait till you get back. I don't know what I'm going to do without you, girl, for 2 weeks. But anyway, have
Go to the
fun.
zone. That's what you'll
Go
be
to
doing.
the zone. That's
Go to
it.
the zone. Go to the
Okay.
zone.
Good night, everybody. Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank you.
Ciao, Bella.
Good girl.
Blizzard. When we drink, we do it right.